It's been a few weeks since I posted the video on my new workshop, where I showed the old workbench I restored. Some of you have asked me to make a video specifically on this project, so I decided to do it. It's an old workbench that was used by the students at a woodworking school for around 40 years. I'd like to thank my sister, who gave it to me. My first idea was to turn this workbench into my kitchen peninsula, but I didn't find a way to make it fit elegantly with the rest of the countertop. Finally, I decided to use it as a side work table. The workbench was in my workshop up until a few days ago, when I finished making the kitchen. The first step of any project is to make a 3D design to make the manufacturing easier and also to maximize the use of the available space. Therefore, I made this kitchen design on an online app. In the floor plan, you can see how this peninsula helps integrate the kitchen with the living room. To make the kitchen, I've used chipboard cabinets, white lacquered MDF doors, and an HPL compact board countertop with dark gray surfaces and a black core. It's the same board I used in several of my homemade woodworking tools. I'll leave a link to my website in the description of this video, where you can find the plans for all these tools. I wasn't able to record the construction of this kitchen due to lack of time. If you'd like to see a video review, let me know in the comment section. I wasn't trying to change the aesthetics of an old worn-down workbench too much, so I left some of the dents and stains on the wood. I also tried to maintain the typical tan color the wood gets through the years. I dedicated a bit more time to repairing the worktop, where I needed a flat, smooth surface to work on. I painted it again a different color when I put the workbench in the kitchen. The initial blue enamel looked too intense to me. I ended up using a darker, more dull shade of blue. I also made 2 new drawers with birch plywood. The originals broke or got lost at some point in their long lives. To finish the kitchen, I thought about making a simple wooden room divider to put between the kitchen and the laundry area. If you're interested in a new video where you can see the design I have in mind and how I'll install it, do let me know in the comments. Now I'll show you how I restored this workbench. In these shots you can see how the work table looked after years of working on it. It's quite warped, with gaps which have gathered dirt and all kinds of materials. I'm going to try and disassemble all the parts of the workbench to make it possible to clean them, and in some cases, repair them. Some joints between the legs and crossbars are detached, and some aren't. To solve this, I'll mix some diluted glue with water. I'll use a syringe to get it to the inside of the joint. I've sanded and cleaned the work table, and now I'm going to glue some pieces of ash wood on the parts where the vise used to be installed. Finally, I decided to flip the tabletop over to use its underside, because logically it wasn't as damaged. Still, I have to flatten it with a plane. I'm going to reinstall the two support pieces of the work table, but rather than screws like before, I'll use biscuits and wood glue. I'll install the screws again anyway, but only for decoration purposes. I'll use some body filler to fill in the small blemishes on the work table. I'm almost done with the tabletop. All that's left is to sand it and paint it. While the paint is drying, I'm going to clean the structure of the bench. I don't want to sand down the wood until it looks new. I'll use fine grit sandpaper to remove the dirt. I'm also going to apply a coat of matte, water-based varnish. I'll use a wire brush to polish all the metal parts of the workbench. I need some pieces of birch plywood where I can screw the drawer slides. I have to adjust little by little to the inside of the workbench. I'll use the same board to make the drawers. I'll use MDF to make the drawer faces, and I'm also going to install two handles I had in my workshop. All that's left now is to make the interior divisions for the drawers. And that's all for today. Thank you for watching this video until the end.